Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I will work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018, and I'm into week 44 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. And we are here to wrap up season number 3 in my pro cyclist career. We start with the Milano-Torino race, and you can see from the profile there that there's two pretty steep climbs right at the end.
Increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
As we come to the end of the race, pace has been high enough that the first group of riders are starting to drop off the back, and my task was as a teammate, so I've put in 27k. I didn't quite make my full mark, but with a breakaway group of 8 and 8 stronger riders, and there's a couple names in there. With those stronger riders, we were out of touch a bit. And so there were quite a few chasers involved.
The lead over the pack is dwindling. Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed. This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
So we are very quickly catching up to the breakaway group. I've got myself right on the front. Thinking about trying to make a move. It's a long enough descent, I could recover quite a bit. Coming up to that strongest section now. And just in time as we catch this breakaway group.
The pace is really hot, so for the moment, we shouldn't see too many attacks.
And as we go over the top, I spent my energy, but right at the front, so I should recover here okay. Carthy, Koenig, and Conchi are all with the group, and we're down to 42 riders of the peloton, and just 3 riders left from the original breakaway still out in front, and they're pretty close. Another large section of descent here. I should recover a bit more. Here we go for round number 2. I'm getting caught up behind this rider. I was right where I wanted to be, right near the front, and one slow rider, and all of a sudden I'm in the back of the group. Working my way back up here, but definitely lost a bit here. Alright, we've caught the breakaway group. And instantly, here comes the attack.
The strongest can create some gaps. Those guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends today.
Small breakaway group, 6 riders. Not the winner today. This isn't pure climbing, as they're categorizing it as a hill stage. It's only 5.5K. It's just the length.
Splendid solo win. And
Richie
a
Port takes the win.
one.
He went down injured in the same race that took me out. George Bennett takes second. Fabio Aru third. Egon Bernal fourth. Barguil, Haig, my teammate
We
Carthy
wait
in
for the
seventh.
riders who continue to arrive.
And I'll be in the top 20. 18th. Apparently I got my achievement at the end too. I pulled a couple K
Here
up
are the
that
race
hill.
highlights that we've selected for you.
So Port wins by 19 seconds over a small group. Carthy comes in with the next group. And then I came in and the stragglers behind that, but definitely in front of the bulk of the field. So that's going to be worth some points. Plus I get exactly 30K, so very good. And good there, so we pick up 17 points and get 10 more satisfaction back after our long absence. We've got another one-day race, another classic coming up here. And then we'll have our final race of the season. This one has a familiar course if you've ever been through Continental. A lot of classics use this. We've got Pierre Roland and Hugh Carthy again. Chances are I will not be the leader, despite my abilities, just because of the manager satisfaction. So trying to fight my way back into favor for the last couple of races here, but not likely to happen. I'm probably going to have to play a teammate role here through the end of the season. Caleb Ewan's at this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and
Carvaz,
The route is
Betancourt
very
are all
hilly, so
here
there should be
for
plenty
Movie
of
Star.
action. The race will take place in beautiful sunny conditions.
And yep, sure enough, teammate again. So I'm going to go put some work in, and I'll see you at the end of the stage. At least I have a better race day condition today. And we'll see if I can't do a little something towards the end. We've just about caught the breakaway group, and what's left of it is shattering right now as they try to stay out in front for just that little bit longer. We are approaching the first of the two climbs, and this has been a pretty mellow race so far. For one thing, I easily got the exceptional objective working for the team. Leader outside is Conchi this time. And the profile on the climb that we're going over twice is even more for the hill climbers than the last one. The last one was a little bit more favored towards mountain climbers, but after the work I had put in, didn't go that way for me. You can see I'm in pretty decent shape this time, but unlike Conchi, who's been protected the whole race, and I was working I'm not quite where I need to be while he's still pretty fresh. So behind Pete Keniek right now, almost tempted to look for an opportunity to go, especially with 2 descents. If you can get out in front, this could be a breakaway kind of win. And I've won on this course before, not this exact race, but I've won on this course a few times, breaking away over this first climb.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
Alright, there's the first section. Here comes the steepest section here in just a moment. And, oh, no, I'm in a breakaway of 4 now. And it's all poor Hans Coro. Wow. Jay McCarthy. Oh, there we go. Everybody's back together. Alright. Well, we keep almost breaking off the front. There are some attacks here on this descent. As much as I need to recover, I need to make sure I don't get left behind. So the field is splitting here on this descent. We're down to 21 riders. Alright, we're back down into the town. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Alright, fairly well recovered. I'm down to Conchi, Carthy, and myself. Carthy working for Conchi right now. And just 21 riders in this front group. So I'm already looking at a top 20 finish. And we're going to hit the climb again here. And then attack on the descent. Oh, and the groups have just come back together as the pace has gone out of it. But a lot of those guys that we're chasing are going to be tired. Percent's not high enough for me to attack right now. Alright, pace is ramping up. We're up over 5% now, and the peloton is starting to shatter. That first acceleration didn't go anywhere.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
23 riders, 18 riders, 2 riders.
The riders are entering the last 10 kilometers of the stage. Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
There goes Conchi. Off on his own. Going for the win. And I'm in a group of 5 that are giving chase to my teammate, so there's no reason for me to attack here. Who do I have with me? Jay McCarthy, Garcia, Nikolaev, and Zana. Actually kind of like my chances here. Okay, if I can get through this piece anyway and recover a little bit, I can at least attack on the end. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Come on. Over the top. And it's all together. Oh, and a big fall behind also going to contribute to this. 3K.
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
And the sprint is on.
Flat tire. It always happens at the wrong moment.
Looks like I might be 5th best here. 6th best. I'm the slowest sprinter. Slowest sprinter. Ah. So I get 6th in the group, but my teammate also 3rd. So that's a solid finish. Jay McCarthy gets the win. Garcia second, Zana fourth, and Nikolaev was fifth, with my teammate and I in third and sixth. And I got a couple more teammates right there in the next group on the road, also getting a high finish. So good result for the team, as we've got 4 riders in the top 11, but no win today. But good points will be earned for that 6th place finish, and that's especially after putting in about 40 kilometers at the front and led most of the way up the final climb. Oh, there's the sprint. I'm the little guy there in the back, drifting. Definitely not a sprinter, because I was not out of juice, and I was sprinting at the end, and I sprinted at the same time the rest of them all did. I just was the slowest in the bunch. But we finish a minute clear of Gianluca Brambilla was the next one on the road. In terms of team standings, we should be right there. Astana and us both at the top. Yeah, we both had 2 in the main group. And we both had at least 1 rider in the chasing group. And it's top 3 that count. But there we go. Exceptional. 6th is good. And excellent on best teammate. So 42 points and 20 on the manager satisfaction. That's back to 83%, just in time. That might be enough going into the final race to get the leader role when we head to China. So I'll see you there in just a second. So we're at the World Tour race in China, and this is not the kind of race that's really catered to my strengths. It's mostly going to be sprint stages, and you can see that there are 2 tiny little hill climbs here that we just went over, the second of which. So I'm not given leader status, even though I finally got back into managers higher satisfaction and manager support. But I'm seen as an outsider here. I'm coming in with high fitness. I might be one of the best riders that's here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get an opportunity to actually really do anything. So they actually gave me free element status, but there was nothing much to do with that. So I just went ahead and sat in the group.
That's really a punchy attack.
So we have 8K to go, 4 riders left in the break, about to be reeled in here.
Just reeled in the escape group.
And then I'll do my best to get whatever finish I can get here in these final 6, now 5 kilometers as we go under the 5K banner.
Just 5 kilometers left.
Use our gel. I'll get as high of a finish as I can get here. You can see most of the peloton together. There are a few riders that have been dropped, but we now have 2K to go. They're already sprinting. Wow. And now we're going to go ahead and lay into the sprint as well. There go the sprinters. Off they go, but I'll be right behind them. Looks like top 20. No one from my team is up there in the sprint.
Only a few riders are capable of following the very fast pace up front.
Looks like about 12 sprinters competing for that. I come in 15th with my team in 14, 15, 16, and 17, as well as 20. But no one in amongst the sprinters, which apparently are just those 12 riders. Let's move on to stage number 2. Coming into the end of stage number 2, and the pace has been crazy throughout this stage. There was a battle for 2/3 of the stage to be in a breakaway group that never was allowed to get away. And that has made things quite difficult. And then with the increased pace here, the last quarter or so has really taken its toll. And I had actually fought to get into that breakaway a few times, knowing that there were 3 early sprint points, and those sprint points would ultimately lead to some time bonuses, and that could be the difference. So I figured 1 time bonus, even if just 1 or 2 seconds, could move me up inside the top 10 in the overall standings where I wanted to be. So my teammate Conchi finishes 7th this time around, and I'm in the group. Daniel Holgard gets a stage win over Alex Turin and Skirping. And there was very, very nearly a split with just about 12K to go on this one. But that split in the group was immediately covered. Did my teammate get second? No. It looked like somebody finished second. Conchi was the highest finisher in 7th. So these are all time bonuses here at the top. Holgard picking up bonuses in more than one stage here. So I'm down to 41st. I was seeing his free element again, so no advantage, nothing gained. And we head on to stage 3 of 6. And again, it's another day for the sprinters, and Daniel Holgard is the favorite. So at this point, he's running away with this thing. And the one hilly stage, not so hilly. Coming up on the 5K banner here in stage number 3. I was in the breakaway for a little bit, but it's been the same deal throughout. They're not letting the breakaway get away at all. There's constant infighting, and it's challenging to be part of that infighting, as it really wears you down, and the field's always giving chase. So they just haven't been lasting. So here goes that final attack.
Several riders are literally disintegrating due to the rhythm imposed by the pack.
And again, nothing left for the attack here at the end. Alex Turin gets the win today over Edward Toynes. Let's see, my team, nobody in the top 12 again. Mitchell Docker takes 17th, Conchi 18th. I finished just outside of the top 20 in 37th. That's not just outside, is it? I thought I was right behind Jesus Ferrata. I had nothing left there at the end, though, of course. All right, on to stage 4. Stage 4. This is about close to a queen stage as we're going to have, as it's got a short, punchy little climb at the finish that will split the field. The small breakaway group of 3 riders has already been caught. One more rider has taken off, is about 10 seconds ahead, still trying to get away. The field is really pushing the pace, not letting them, and I've got a sprint coming up in 5K, a chance to pick up a few seconds. I would love to take it, however, I would like to participate in the sprint here at the end. So if they make it really easy to pick up those 3 seconds, I might go for it, as the breakaway has been caught here with just 3K to go. So I'm thinking about just a simple little push here off the front, and they're letting me go. So I'm going to go ahead and go for this, using minimal energy, and see what I can do to pick up a few seconds. And then Didn't get it. 3 guys overtook me right at the line. So that was a waste of energy. One of them's already in the sprint jersey, so... or young rider's jersey with sprint points. Boy, that wasted a lot more energy than I thought it would, one little sprint like that.
Only a few riders are capable of following the very fast pace up front.
Oh, field has split. Just 27 riders left here in the front group at the moment. It's only 30 seconds. We very much could be caught, but maybe not. Yeah, there's another group of 21 chasing now. The 21 have caught us. But there's still a small gap to those in the back, and even if they do catch us, it's going to use a lot of energy for them to get up on us, and the gap actually looks to be growing. It's over a minute now. (21) in the chase group. That's now a minute 15 behind. And we're coming up on 10K to go. Harada and Patursky are in the group with me. Everybody else is behind, including our highest placed rider in the overall right now in Conchi. I'm getting caught up behind these guys. Get out of that. 7K to go here. I want to be right at the front at the base of this climb. There's the 5K banner. Going to use my energy gel now, and now I'm up near the front where I want to be.
5 kilometers to the finish line.
Don't drive through the fence. There you go. After all these years, you figured they'd get those kind of bugs sorted out, but they still haven't. That still happens. Alright, here is the climb. 3K to go, and I'm right there at the front, and I want to... I've got the energy gel going right now. I'm not competing for the win on this. I'm not a punchy climber. But if I'm near the top here, I should be able to manage a decent time. Under 2K to go. And these guys are all pushing already, and I'm not so much. So
The riders are going through a very tough portion with
44 riders. A few are starting to get dropped here.
And the final sprint is off.
And a lot of guys are now toast. And 300 meters. Now I'm going to attack to the finish. I should be in the top 10 here, but there's a lot of riders to the left there that are a half ride ahead of me. David De La Cruz takes the win. I should be in the top 10. 8th. Not bad, not bad. And a pretty small group. It will thin things out a little bit. Edward Toynes there in 10th. My teammate Conti does get back. Oh, that's Conti. Conti takes 11th. Luke Durbridge there in 13th. Laurent Pichon in 14th. There's Harada in 15th with Postelberger behind him. So not bad for not being a punchy climber.
Now for the best moments of the day.
All right, so 29 riders come in that front group. Everybody else a minute down, which means I'm definitely into the top 29 now. Let's see, where does that place us overall? Still not that high. 18th. Petersky still seen ahead of me, as is Harada, based on some earlier finishes where they've been near the top. And I've only had one finish where I was outside of the top 30, and yet it placed me way down the order in that one time where I was in the back of the peloton. So it's a little weird how the countback has worked on that, because I've been above most of my teammates throughout. But Daniel Holgard hangs on to the lead. David De La Cruz now in third. And for the under 25s, nobody is now up on time. So there's actually, in terms of countback, I'm fourth with 6 guys left. So just a 1 second bonus here in the last 2 stages would put me above them. Another sprint stage. There are 2 climbs to get over. They're not terribly steep. The length of them makes them category 2. And on the descent of the category 3 climb before it, there was actually just a big crash moments ago that split the field. And a lot of that group looks like they're not going to make it back, especially at this point. So we have a limited group that could be some of that top 25 caught up, as it was early enough along that it was relatively unexpected. We have a breakaway group of 8 riders, including my teammate Conchi, and a number of guys that are in the top standings, in that top 30 or so. So if they get caught and left behind, then they stand to lose a lot of time. If the breakaway group hangs on, they're likely going to be the winner of the race within that group. So the penultimate climb we just went over. The next one's a bit longer, higher, and a bit longer descent. This is a pretty short descent here. Pace isn't that intense right now either. I would love to change that and push that, but I'm not the leader of the team. So I would get one of my guys like Petersky to attack, but that's not happening here. And there's no point going after points or trying to split the field myself. We've got 66 riders, and now actually even more. Winner Anacona involved in another crash now. And meanwhile, Tony Martin is in that breakaway group and really going after the mountain climbers jersey. And you can see De La Cruz right there, who wears the mountain climbers jersey right now, did not go into the breakaway. He's got that from winning the last stage, stage number 4. And we're just about to the top here. Peloton now at 52 riders as we approach the top here. Chase group of 22. There's still 3 minutes to that breakaway group. I think they might just hang on. We're going to have to attack pretty hard here once we get to the base to chase them down. And I don't think we're getting back 3 minutes. This is a pretty short stage. It was only about 150K to begin with. There's only 30K left to go, and we're 3 minutes down. So I think the winner of the race is going to be contained within that group. I think 5 or 6 of those riders were in that top 30 overall. And they got away early this time. And it was weird. They were allowed to get out to close to 5 minutes. We have pulled back 2 minutes in maybe 50K. But that's 2 minutes. We've got 3 to go. Alright, so now at the base we have 48 riders left that are giving chase. We've already pulled back 10 seconds in a very short period. But they've got 8 riders. That's a pretty good group, and you can see just how fresh they are here at the bottom, as Conti's looking pretty good. I mean, Petersky's looking a lot worse than Conchi. And Harada just got dropped. No, he's back with it. Momentary split. breakaway group, this is good for us. They are splitting apart. So 2 riders now off the front, 6 riders left behind. As they fight, we're going to gain a lot more time on them. They're already down to 2.5 minutes to the front. 20K to go in this one. This is going to shake up the standings a bit. We'll see how much. Here in the next 19K. Our pace is pretty intense here. What do you got here? It's an interesting
There are just 15 kilometers
building.
left.
Is this some sort of silo? Alright, so we have 40 riders, 2 minutes down. Lead group back together. We've got 14K to go. They've only got 12K to go. And the lead is actually stretching back out. So they just picked up another 10-15 seconds there as we sorted out who is going to pull at the front, as Backart and Alex Howes
10 kilometers to the finish line.
are taking up the chase. But here's the race leader, Holgard. He's got a lot to lose. Toyne's in the green jersey as well.
Attack with the finishing line within reach.
But we're not going to catch him. They're still 2 minutes up. Use my energy gel now. I don't need it on the finish line. I need to make sure that I'm still in the group. We're down to 32 riders, so it is thinning out. We're inside 2 minutes, but we've only been able to pull back 1 minute in 13K, or about a minute and a half.
Only 5
There's not enough
kilometers
time left. There they are. They're already under the 5K banner. And our pace has slowed a lot, it looks like. 46K an hour, 40K an hour. Here comes the next attack. Under 3K to go. I shouldn't be pulling this hard. Whoa, whoa,
And
hey,
spurts away from the
ease
group.
off,
He's
ease
away
off,
for
ease off.
victory. And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint. A victory that went right down to the wire.
Sari
Wow,
takes
that was
first.
great.
Conchi, my teammate, gets second. And Tony Martin takes 7th. He was the one that I was keeping an eye on. I'm surprised he didn't do a little more. He's not really a sprinter.
We're waiting for the back markers who
Hopefully
appear
we
to be fairly
don't
numerous
experience
in
a
this difficult
split
race.
on this one, but we might. Hirata comes across 21st. I got 35th. Petersky 29th. And we'll take a look at the standings before I cut to the final stage. It's been an unusual race, as it's mostly been flat sprint stages, so there's been a lot of times where we're just flat out fighting to create a breakaway that they don't want to allow to stay away. Lots of sprint points,
And
very
these are
few
the race
climbing
highlights that we've
points.
selected for you.
And they show that. That was right at the beginning. So glitchy there. It was a bridge over the top with a barrier down the side that we drove right into. Okay, so a minute 17 to those top 8 riders. And the rest of us were on the same time, down to 40th place. So Daniel Holgard's hanging on, so actually that did not affect us. I'm up 1 spot to 17th. We're down to 24 riders, so we lost 5 riders out of that main group. It was at 29. There's Peter Sari, who won the stage, Conchi second. So these guys actually were all down on time. None of them were in the top. They just had virtual times, apparently, that were ahead of Holgard on the track. They were far enough ahead at one point. So even though the breakaway group stayed away, The overall contenders drop from 29 to 24, and I move up one spot to 17th.
In a sprint, the pack has just reeled in the escape group.
Okay, with the escape group just caught, we have just under 7K to go here in the final stage of the season. We have 93 riders left at the front. Group keeps splitting apart, coming back together, splitting apart, coming back together. So there are definitely some tired riders left. You can see Docker, Breschel both just hanging on. Even I not doing terribly well. But we've got 4K to go here to end the season. And now 2.5K. I'm going to start trying to push towards the very, very front. Give it all I can here at the end. Now 1.4, 1.1. Okay, now I'm going to go into sprint mode. The actual sprinters, of course, are going to burst by, but should be able to find myself in a decent position here. It looks like I might squeeze into the top 10 here. Hoffland gets the win. Conchi, my teammate, takes 4th. And I get 10th place there. So 10th place, not bad, not bad. De La Cruz takes 12th, so it looks like he's in good shape. Holgard there in 7th, so Holgard should be hanging on to win the race overall. And we'll check out those final standings as we go into wrap up the season mode here. The final couple minutes. Before I do wrap things up, just a quick note. Starting next week, the last strategy game is now going to be gone from the channel. Europa Universalis 4. Just finished up the last 2 episodes of that series yesterday, so be sure to check out the final couple episodes. You can see that's my all-time highest scoring game for the Gaming Decathlon now. And in its place is Pro Cycling Manager 2018 Career Mode. So I'm going to do a full team, and that's going to be a Saturday series. So we'll have Pro Cycling Manager weekends starting next Saturday with the first couple episodes of that new series getting underway. And it'll be a lower league manager style, as I'll start with a Continental Division team at the very bottom and try to bring them on up to the World Tour level. So 10th on the stage, and that moves me up to 13th overall. That should be worth some points. On those countbacks, I come in right behind my teammate Harada, who only finished ahead of me in a single stage this whole race, I think. And yet, on the countback, I still couldn't get placed above him. But Holgard does win it. Skirping 2nd, Edward Toynes 3rd, David De La Cruz in 4th. And for the other 25s, I do get it in the end on the countback over the other 2 guys that were left in that group. So that worked out pretty well for me. The second one, Gannett, was 16th on the countback. So this 10th place finish here at the end was enough to take that jersey. So first in youth standings, exceptional, and I get a whole 11 points progression for the entire race, by the way. So 6 stages, I get 11 points of progression. That is really pathetic, and I don't like the way that that's balanced at all, because I was given free element status for the entire race. So I earned nothing, did nothing, got no credit for any stage except for the final overall standings. Alright, well, let's go ahead and progress a day. And that should be just about the end of the season, so we'll go into results. Let's first look at standings for all divisions. Here's the preview of next year. This still could change on the final day of the year, but it looks like we have Wanty Group Gobert likely coming up to World Tour status. Dimension Data dropping out and going to Continental Pro. That being the only change at the top. There's a few continental teams that might be getting promoted to Pro. Meridiana, CCC, Haloesco, Ukyo, and a few teams moving down. And no teams dissolving, it looks like. That's good. All right, on to the standings. So, World Tour standings, Chris Froome is your winner. Dan Martin actually moves up over my teammate Rigoberto Uran here in the final couple of races of the year, while Poles in 4th, Richie Porte 5th. And I had some points here. Let's see here. 181st with 148 points at the World Tour level. Peter Seri of Wanty Group Gobert is your continental champion, and Guillaume Martin is second in that category, and that's your team leader for Wanty Group Gobert, while Seri is their sprinter. So a 1-2 finish from them. No wonder they are getting looked at to be promoted. And in the Super Prestige, and this is the one that counts for the gaming decathlon, Chris Froome is the winner there, close on 3,000 points. Which, by the way, that would only be, let's see, not even 600 points, 567 points is all that score amounts to, and I'm looking to get to 1,000. So I'd have to be a lot more dominant than that to get the 1,000 point threshold. Dan Martin here with 2,400 points is second. Caleb Ewan, Nairo Quintana, and Richie Porte are the top 5. My teammate Rigoberto Uran takes 9th. Peter Sagan, the 3-time world champion, though he lost out this year, is 10th. So no rainbow jersey for Sagan next year. That'll be sad. And let's see. Outside of the top 100, again, I missed 3 months due to injury, and that really set me back. I move up 54 places here in the end. I pick up some points in that final one. 365 points. 365. So that is 73 points. 73 points for the Gaming Decathlon. Very low score this year. Much lower than my record from last season. But I missed a third of the year with injury. I was also a teammate for much of the year until I was finally growing into my own shortly before that injury. So I expect much better things next season. But I'm still going to have to build up that resistance if I'm going to truly be competitive at a World Tour status. So next season, I think I'm going to customize the calendar a bit more to cater towards my strengths. I won't just race at World Tour level, but I'll try to get some more Pro Continental style races that I could do pretty well at. Get a few of those under my belt over the course of the season so I can hopefully grab some more results this next season than I was able to get this year. In terms of victories, Caleb Ewan at the top with 19 wins. Gaviria got 12. Chris Froome also had 12 wins. That's amazing for a stage racer. Viviani, 11. Mark Donovan of Team Wiggins also with 11 wins. Quintana had 9. Christopher Lawless had 9, and Jasper Philippin of the Facebook team, Continental team there with 8 wins. Everybody else was 7 or fewer. You can see a big group behind that. In terms of teams, Team Sky World Tour dominant this year. Mitchelton Scott second. A little surprising that Quick Step only was 4th, even though they are the strongest team, as they were in real life. They dominated this year. Yes, Team Sky still pulled off the big races when they needed to. couple wins. Yeah, couple wins out of the 3 Grand Tours. But otherwise, it was all quick-step floors this year, so a little surprising that they're only in 4th. My team pulls off an 11th place finish. Continental. Wanty Group Gobert, pretty dominant there. The Portuguese team, close second over the Burger King team, or Burry King. And in the Super Prestige, we were 12th. We just topped 5,000 through that final race. In terms of victories, Mitchelton Scott leading the way with 47 on the year over Team Sky and Quick Step. Those 3 were pretty far ahead of everyone else. Cofidis did pretty well with 21 wins. And we were consistent, but we didn't win a lot. Only 13 wins on the year, all the way down in 25th. And for the world level, the UK leading the way in the World Tour over the Netherlands. Pretty close. Also Colombia. And then you get a bit of a drop down to Italy and France. US, nowhere to be seen. 23rd. Big drop from where they've been in past years. Continental, Belgium, just above France, just above Spain, and then a pretty massive drop after that. US here a little bit better off in 13th. And in the Super Prestige, US up to 17th. I helped with that a bit. The UK leading the way over Colombia and the Netherlands. And for victories, France with the most, 92 wins this year. And a quick look at the under 23s. Colombian rider, whose name I'm not going to try, led the way. And then that should do it. So we are a quarter of the way through level 17 as we head into season 4 and our 22-year-old season. I have an average now of 79, where I'm very strong in the mountains, good in the time trials, good in recovery. So overall, I do well on the stage races. I don't fade away late on, but I've got to get that resistance still a bit higher, at least 75-ish. Before I'm going to start being a bit more competitive. I think I need to also raise my hill attribute a few points to hang on those punchy climbs and not lose time on those. And on the flat at a 61, I think those long stages, unless I'm the leader and protected, I'm kind of hurting on those. So I might need a few points there, but nothing more than maybe a 65-ish. Prologue's only a 72, but that's okay. The prologues, you don't lose a lot of time. It's a matter of seconds, and that can definitely be overcome in the mountains. And with that 83, I'm starting to look pretty strong in the mountains. Stamina's just 68, but that's not as bad as the resistance one. I need to get that up. So, top 2 priorities are resistance and hill climbing. Here for this next season. If I can get a few more points out of those, I think I can start being fairly competitive at the World Tour level and start fighting for, let's say, top 10s, top 15s next season, and accumulate a bit more points. And maybe in those Pro Continental races, I can get after those and grab even more points there. And have a successful season. Hopefully I can avoid injuries, but that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Be sure to check out the new series, the career mode, the full team mode that's launching next Saturday. Bye for now.